What's going on, guys? Thank you for coming back to another video. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about the song Hoy Cobré by Bad Bunny. This is a song on his new album El Último Tour Del Mundo, which was just released last November and has done extremely well. This would probably have to be Bad Bunny's most successful album up to this point. It's got a great track list, a lot of great songs on here. I will definitely have to make some more videos in the future about some of these other songs. My personal favorite songs on the album are actually songs 1, 2, and 3. I think if I had to pick one, it would be between Te Mudaste and Hoy Cobré. But I think Hoy Cobré would take the cake. So that is the song we're going to talk about today. As we can see, it was produced by Hazen, Elikai, and Súbelo NEO, who are all producers that we saw on Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana. So these guys are really all responsible for a lot of the beats that Bad Bunny's been using lately. They've really just been able to consistently come up with like new sounds and new ideas. This beat has like that slapping like electric guitar sound that I just think sounds so badass over that trap beat. So it really is unique stuff, and their ability to just consistently innovate song after song is really what I think is just making this genre what it is right now. So Hoy Cobré is pretty much like a trap fronteo. We talked a little bit about the word fronteo and how it basically means like when an artist is just showing off, talking about how good he is. This is pretty much a song that falls right into that category. So we're just going to take a look at the chorus. It's just going to be these 4 lines here. So I have them pasted over here. So once again, we'll just kind of go through it here real quick like we did with the last song and just kind of tidy it up. So we'll get rid of these A's on the end that we're not going to need to translate. And the first line here is Hoy cobré y hoy mismo los voy a explotar. So this apostrophe is representing an S. And then this here would actually be voy a, shortened to voy, which is very common to hear. El precio ni voy a preguntar, once again, same exact shortening. Fumando en la Gucci, nadie lo va a notar, that's fine. Estoy burlao, me tienen que soportar. So burlao would technically be coming from the word burlado, but this is pretty heavy slang right here. So like anybody that's going to say this would probably be from Puerto Rico to begin with. If not, they'd have to be, from the Caribbean. I don't think there's any other country out there that's going to say something like this. So because of that, they're never really going to pronounce it like burlado anyway. So we can kind of just keep it as burlao because to even write it as burlado just looks weird. So we'll leave it like that. And then I'll do my best to explain what this kind of means. All right, so we'll start at the beginning here. So the word hoy means today. Cobré is coming from the verb cobrar, which has various meanings. Probably the most common one is to charge for. But there is a second meaning that means to get paid. And that is kind of the meaning that he's using here in the song. So it's kind of weird because in English, these are like 2 totally different concepts, to charge for something and to get paid. Like normally that would be 2 totally separate things. But in Spanish, these 2 ideas get kind of merged with this verb cobrar. So it can be a little weird. It kind of depends on the context, which one they're talking about. Here, it's going to mean to get paid. So cobré is in the first person past tense. So it would mean I got paid. Okay, so hoy cobré is going to translate as today I got paid. That's the literal translation. We'll probably come back to this and change it up a little bit. Okay, then he says y hoy mismo. So y is and. Hoy mismo. So here, once again, we have the word hoy, which means today. Mismo is a word that kind of means like itself or the same, something like that. So if you were to write it literally, it would almost be like saying today itself. which doesn't really make sense. If you look at the Spanish, he's basically saying, today I got paid, and also today I did this next thing that I'm about to say here. So it's kind of emphasizing the fact that he got paid, and on the same day that he got paid, he's also going to go do this. So the only way to really write that would be to say something like, and this very day, or something like that. I mean, you could kind of translate hoy mismo as this very day, but that just sounds way too redundant. Like, nobody's going to say that. So we'll just keep it as today, and then we'll keep it in the back of our minds when we go to translate this a second time, that we kind of want to emphasize that he's saying hoy mismo here. Okay, then he says, los voy a explotar. So los is actually a pronoun representing a masculine noun in the plural form. So it's going to mean them. And he doesn't specify what the noun is here. So we will continue on, and then after we finish this line, I'll explain what the noun is that he's most likely referring to. So voy a is coming from the verb ir, which means to go. Voy a is in the present tense. It means I'm going, and then the a is to. So voy a is I'm going to, and then explotar means to blow up. So if we were to rearrange this a little bit, we would take the them and bring it into the verb and say I'm going to blow them up. So the them is basically a reference, most likely a reference to the word that is commonly used in Puerto Rico for money, at least the slang word, and that is the word chavos. So most likely los is representing the noun chavos. Okay, so all of it's just going to mean money. So we could just use the expression to blow it in English. So today I got paid, and today I'm going to blow it. In other words, he's going to go spend all his money that he just made. So we could keep that. It's not a bad translation, but I think we could probably do a little bit better. So like instead of saying today, we could just say just, because it kind of gives the same meaning. And then instead of saying I got paid, we could look for like a more colloquial slang type expression and say something like just made bank. And then that sounds pretty cool. And like to make bank doesn't always mean to get paid, but I mean, I think we can all agree that when Bad Bunny gets paid, he's probably making a lot of money. So I think to say just made bank is like a pretty decent translation there. And today I'm going to blow it. So we could just be like, and I'm about to go blow it. Because, you know, we had the hoy mismo up here, which was kind of signifying that like right after he got paid on that same day, he was going to go spend his money. So if we use like about to, you know, it kind of gives the same meaning. So I would say instead of even saying I'm about to go blow it, you could be like, I'm about to go cash out. And I feel like that makes sense. That sounds pretty good. And then, you know, that way we're kind of encapsulating what he's saying and also saying it in kind of a slang, colloquial type way. I mean, we could even change the about to just bout and be like, you know, just made bank and I'm about to go cash out. El precio ni voy a preguntar. So this one is pretty straightforward. So el means the, precio means price, ni means like not even, voy a, so this is the same as up here, voy a, coming from the verb ir, which means to go. Voy is in the first person present tense, so it means I'm going. And then the a means to. Preguntar means to ask. So we can just write the word ask since we already have the to from the a here. So the price, not even, I'm going to ask. We're going to take the not even and move it here. And then we're going to take the price and move it to the end. So we have, I'm not even going to ask the price. We could even take out the I'm and just start the sentence with not. So not even, and then we can shorten this to just gonna. So I'm not even going to ask the price. Pretty straightforward. Fumando en la Gucci, nadie lo va a notar. Okay, so fumando is coming from the verb fumar, which means to smoke. Here we can see it ends in ando, which anytime a verb ending in Spanish is either ando or yendo, that is the gerund tense, which in English is the equivalent of the ing tense. Okay, so ando, yendo translates as ing in English. So fumando, smoking. En means in. La Gucci, so, we could say the Gucci. We can take out the word the and just say smoking in Gucci. You can even abbreviate that. Nadie lo va a notar. So nadie means nobody or no one. So no one. The lo here means it. Va a notar. So va now is the same verb as what voy was coming from. Ir, which means to go. Now it's in the third person present tense, so it means is going. A notar, so the a means to. And then notar means like to note or to notice. Okay, so to notice. So no one, it is going to notice. We would take that and bring it here. So no one is going to notice it. We can see that we don't even really need the word it at all, so we can just take it out. And then we can do some abbreviating here and be like, ain't no one gonna notice. Something like that. So, smoking in Gucci, ain't no one gonna notice. Okay, so he's probably referring to sunglasses. He may also be referring to the fact that he's smoking like fully decked out in Gucci. But he's probably specifically referring to sunglasses so that he can cover up his eyes and nobody's gonna notice that he's high. Estoy burlao, me tienen que soportar. So estoy means I am. Burlao, so I asked my Puerto Rican friend about this one, and it's a pretty interesting slang word. He actually told me that it's really not very common, and there's actually another slang word that's a lot more common to use in this context, and that would be the word guiao. Once again, it would technically be guiado, but because of the fact that it's being used in a slang context in Puerto Rico or really anywhere in the Caribbean, they're going to cut the D off and it's just going to sound like guiao. So we'll come back to this one. It's going to help us to see the full context of everything to understand what that means. Okay, so me tienen que soportar, so the me is me. Tienen que comes from tener que, which means to have to. Okay, so here we can see the N on the end of the verb, so we know it's in the plural form, and this is also the present tense. So it's going to be like you all have to, or we could just write it as y'all have to. And then soportar means like to stand or to put up with or to deal with. So we'll use to deal with. Okay, and then the me is going to come at the end, so y'all have to deal with me. Okay, so the word burlao or guiao, if we look at everything that he said so far, so he's like, I just made a ton of money. I'm about to go spend it all. I don't even care what the price is. I'm smoking in my Gucci. Like he's probably smoking his Crippy Kush. He's smoking top dollar weed in his top dollar clothes. No one's going to notice. He's saying like, you're just going to have to put up with it. You have to deal with me. So basically he's saying that he thinks he's the man. And he's being pretty arrogant about it. And he's basically saying like he's got a big head and doesn't care what anybody thinks. And so the expression I would want to try to use, I think, would be like to be on your high horse. So we could be like on my high horse. And then even instead of saying y'all have to deal with me, we could be like y'all can deal with it. Okay, so I'm on my high horse. Y'all can deal with it. He's basically saying that he's feeling real good about himself and he's being pretty unapologetic about it. So that's the translation of the chorus. I hope that made sense. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, if you think anything could be changed. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it and see you next time.